If somebody mentions pornography or the word pornography, what comes to mind? What initially comes to mind? If you sit down with someone that's been addicted to pornography and you talk about his life and he tells you what porn has done for his life, you would come to the conclusion that it's pretty bad for you. But then you might sit down with someone that has used porn in the past and it's helped them for some other reason. So again, it's very subjective, right? But my personal opinion is there's nothing good about pornography. When you look at the image in front of you, you don't know that person. You might have a little thing about what this person's into and what they've been up to and whatever on the back of the video, because the producer or whatever, director's written something down on the back to make you respond to it better, I don't know. But you have no idea about that person's life. You don't know if they're being raped, if they've been sold into the sex slave market. Maybe they're one of these girls that have gone into that industry to earn money and they absolutely hate the industry, but they do it now because they're trapped in that industry. You have no idea of their lives, and yet you're deriving pleasure from it. And I can't find anything ethically good about that. Not only that, from my experience, I've had lots of people speak to me about porn, and it's been always negative. Sure, when you look at pornography, and we'll talk about it, when a man looks at it, he's visual by nature. That's the way we're geared. That's the way God made us. And so we're attracted to the opposite sex, visually especially. And when we look at pornography, our brains are geared in that particular way to be attracted to pornography. And when we see it, obviously an action comes with it. We don't look at it and go, that was great, and walk off. There's an action that's produced after it or during it, right? And that creates even more chemicals. So at first, yes, pornography is pleasurable to the human eye. When somebody views pornography, and those chemicals are released, they want to feel that again. Powerful chemicals are released, more powerful chemicals are released after orgasm, images are stored in the memory, and new neural pathways are formed. The more that you walk on a track, the deeper it becomes and the wider it becomes. And this is the danger with your minds, because of the plasticity of your minds, because you're so young. You're still forming those neural pathways in your brain. The danger is the brain becomes tolerant to the material. So you start off by looking at a male and female having just what you would call as normal sex. But after a while that becomes boring. The same process happens in drugs. They say marijuana is a gateway drug. You start taking marijuana, it's a depressant, and it makes you happy and you laugh and you get the munchies and eat some peanut butter sandwiches or whatever, and you're having a good old laugh with a friend. But your brain then says after a while, this isn't enough, I want something else. And maybe you move to cocaine. And then from cocaine you move to heroin. The same process works with pornography, especially with addiction. You know what the scary thing is? What you would normally see as disgusting or abomination or just perverse, after a while you get tremendous amount of guilt and shame, because you look back and think, man, I used to think that stuff was really bad, and now I'm looking at it all the time and deriving pleasure from it. Pornography hates families. It wants to destroy families. And it can affect the children looking on a dad's computer, or it can break a relationship up.